Hey, it's Braedan, and I'm Cole from Wallows. You're listening to WRSU FM, New Brunswick. Let's go.
Cole, what was on your agenda for today? And Braedan, what were you doing?
Today was a very chill day for me. I've been watching Adventure Time at home with my girlfriend and my cat, just kind of lounging today. It's real nice. I slept in. I ate pumpkin bread. I'm going to get sushi with some friends later, and I play guitar. I have to throw in the music a little bit, right?
Glad I'm standing in the way of your very adventurous night right now.
Yeah.
Did you guys check out your Spotify on Wraps at all this morning?
Yes, and you just posted about it, actually. I just got done clicking post probably about 11 minutes ago or something, and I don't have Spotify, which is funny. I have Apple Music, so whenever this stuff happens, it's always so new to me, and it's fun to just see all that stuff. And I always assume that my top artist is Ariana Grande. I just assume it because I bump her so much.
What about you, Cole?
I think mine. I love seeing it, but mine this year I think got skewed because I fell asleep on a plane listening to this band called Crumb, and so all of my top artist is Crumb, and my top 5 songs are Crumb. Just because they played on loop for it was a flight to Europe, so it was 10 hours of straight only that on loop. Mine's skewed, but I love Crumb, but I don't think mine's that accurate, unfortunately. That's
too bad. Do you tend to listen to your own music ever on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever you use?
I think, yeah, in past years, I've seen on mine, a Wallows song, will come out because I'll, get excited about it being out. I'll be like, oh, man, it's out. What does it sound like? And just kind of, it sneaks in there. And a lot of my friends who do music have the same problem. But, everyone's just out here vibing to their own stuff, and that's cool.
Braedan, you were saying that you were listening to your top artist was a pop artist, and you're saying that your top artist is Crumb, which is indie pop, indie psychedelic rock kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
As a rising rock act coming into the 2020s, what would you like to see the genre take on in the next decade? Would you want to see them kind of explore more of the Crumb direction or embrace more of Ariana Grande's R&B genre fluid direction?
I think that a mixture of both would be amazing. I feel we listen to so much different music just as people. I just get obsessed with things so easily, and I'm not. It's whenever I see people comment on YouTube oh my gosh, this song sucks, or this is so poppy, or whatever they say to anything. I mean, I get it, to each their own, but I love just listening to so much different stuff, and I can appreciate so many different spectrums of music. So I feel if there's not really, and I feel it's happening right now, if there's no genre, that'd be so cool. I think the coolest thing you can do is just put out songs that are all different from each other. And because we live in a time where anything's available, any genre's available at all times. It's why limit your project to one specific thing unless that's what you want to do? Because I do think a lot of people would want to just, have a sound and do what they want, which is great. But someone like me and us as a band, I think it's going to be really fun to just explore as much different avenues as we possibly can. just because why not? For the hell of it.
Yeah, no. I feel for us, we've been embracing music that we listened to when we were really young. I mean, I don't know, Braedan's been obsessed with Sugar Ray randomly and stuff stuff from the 90s, early 2000s. I feel that, I don't want to say too much about what next year holds for us, but, we've been exploring merging that vibe into our stuff. So, yeah, I feel artists will just kind of, the whole genre thing will just kind of blend together.
Is there an ambition, would you say, to take on the Billboard or the Rolling Stone Hot 100 next year or in the coming years with your second album coming up?
I think that's always a cool achievement in its own right. To have as many people as possible listening to you and to be acknowledged in that kind of way. I definitely think there's a fine line with not like making that not necessarily a goal, but just something that if it happens, it is a great achievement. I just feel like that's more of a amazing thing based off your hard work rather than like you're striving to like achieve that or something. I don't know. It's like it comes with the territory, and if it does, that's amazing. I don't know what I'm trying to say about it. Cole, how about you?
I mean, we'd be mad about that if we had.
I definitely wouldn't be mad.
Charting. Yeah, like we wouldn't be. Of course, like having like a song that, like hits radio really hard and we become a bigger band. You know, I definitely am not. I don't not want that. But yeah, like I think what Braedan's saying is we're not necessarily making that our goal. We're not writing with the intention of like, let's get on the charts. It's just, you know, if we make stuff that feels good to us, that's, you know, all that we can really do. And I think all that we would really enjoy doing anyways.
Right. When I think of like a band that was like an indie darling first, and then they broke through to mainstream success, I think of like Portugal the Man. And when I saw them in concert, there was like this weird animosity in the end. Even though it was like a blessing to get the mainstream success, they felt this kind of weird alienation with their fan base because there was like fair weather Patriot fans who only came because of the hit song. So do you think it's even worth it to achieve quote unquote mainstream success as the industry defines it?
Well, I mean, that's true. I definitely think there's a lot of artists that can have big songs, but it's more like they're a fan of you and they're a fan of what you do rather than just one song. Like I feel like there could be an artist that equally sells out the same stadium as Portugal the Man, like Arcade Fire, and they haven't had like a hit song. You know, it's like you're there because they have great music and you feel just connected to them. Not to put down Portugal the Man, just going with what you're saying. You want to do it gradually. It's like you don't want to just like come out the gates with like the biggest song in the world, but no one knows anything about you and they don't care about your trajectory or evolution or anything like that. Like you want them to be along for the ride or something.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what Portugal does next because they definitely reached with Feel It Still. That song is like got billion streams or whatever. So I think it's what's almost more important than that is how you return from that. Like what's their do they like continue with that like poppy alt radio thing, or are they going to put out an old classic Portugal? I mean, I don't know. Well, I'm curious to see how they're going to evolve. Yeah, with that already under their belts.
Did you see the interview that Pete Townsend did with the New York Times?
No.
So he is going on right now. They're releasing a new album, The Who, but he talks about how he doesn't necessarily enjoy or relate to the songs that he wrote way back when in the 70s and the 60s, and that performing is more of a job now than it is a passion of his. Do you think 50 years from now you would be comfortable with the notion of still playing music or possibly just performing the same music from your first and tentative second album?
I feel like at this moment, I think yes. I do think it'd be really interesting to have like a big discography and like kind of just pick and choose through the ones that mean something to you or not. I mean, I have no idea what I'll think about these songs in 50 years, but I feel like in terms of music, I always think that when I'm like 60 or 70 and like if I'm still making music, like I want to go the weird, just like industrial, just like insane instrumental, weird ass music and not try to make like be relevant or anything like that. I think that'd be more charming, and that's just kind of something I feel like I'd want to do. But I don't know. I mean, McCartney still does it, and I feel like I have more of his mindset than Pete Townsend. So who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, if I was, it's hard for me to say now because I'm 23 and we don't have that much out there. But if I was Pete Townsend and people were like paying to see The Who, I definitely would want to like do the fan service of playing those old nostalgic songs. Like I feel like I would find some sort of joy in playing like Baba O'Reilly for a bunch of people who like grew up listening to that song and like paid to come see that, or like if I was Tom York, I'd be playing Creep every night. But I don't know. That's just me right now. So who knows?
Is it too soon to ask about questions about a new album or deluxe edition of the last record?
I don't think there's going to be a deluxe version of the album. Album 2, we're kind of just floating around ideas with album 2. There's nothing nothing set in stone, and we're kind of always just trying to figure that out, because we're constantly writing and, you know, sorting through the vibes.
As Fever, you covered a Rage Against the Machine song way back when. Do you think you'll bring that in, seeing that they're reuniting in Mexico City this year?
Ooh, that'd be really funny and really fun. Cole, do you think we're doing that? It'd be very ballsy. Maybe we'll do Bob O'Reilly for all the fans that aren't getting it.
So what exactly are you excited for at Hangout Fest and Lollapalooza?
Gosh, I've heard Hangout is on the beach. So, like, my girlfriend has been to that festival, and so we'll get to play on the water, like people's toes in the sand. That's cool. South America, that's a place I've never been, and I feel like I wouldn't have an excuse to go very often outside of this. So that'll be uncharted territory in a good way.
Yeah. Do you feel like touring around the country and the world has informed your worldview in some interesting ways over the past few years?
Definitely. I mean, touring is such a crash course as far as traveling goes. You get 24 hours or less sometimes in each city, but you know, you get to see like the way people live and the different way people communicate, which I think is, you know, invaluable life experience. Like, I'll definitely look back very fondly on that someday.
I hope you have a great night getting sushi and chilling out in your living room, maybe talking to Nicole a little more on the phone, whatever you want to do. But yeah, thank you so much for calling in. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Bennett.
Thought I saw your shadow under the door, just a trick of the light I've seen before. I can never tell what's real anymore.